Hello and welcome. I just want to welcome you to my private Facebook group for moms who are required to co parent with a narcissist, a narcissistic ex, or stuck in a costly, high conflict family court battle with a narcissist. If that's you, you are not alone. I endured a 12-year legal battle and I was able to come out of this stronger and smarter than before. I no longer have those battles. My daughter has protection. I have peace. But I want to share with you some of my work so you know what I have out there because I offer you some power tools and some tips, tools, and strategies that might be helpful in your custody case. I talk about skillful means and I teach my castle and curtain method. Just a full disclaimer, anything I say is not direct advice because cases are so tricky. You can pause this and watch this, read this on YouTube if you're watching. This is my shared survivor wisdom, so take what's helpful, leave the rest. I'm not a family law lawyer. I'm a mom survivor. I'm not a therapist, so please get those professional supports if you need them. If you are willing and ready to learn and do the work, I am here to teach, coach, and mentor. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic to find myself co parenting with a personality disordered ex and fighting in a family court battle. So I have 5 books for moms. I say learn all you can because knowledge is power. I have a free Spotify. My goal is to help moms maintain their sanity, save and safeguard their custody case, and enjoy their child's one and only childhood. The good news is our children are getting older and becoming less vulnerable as they step into their adult rights and their own thinking. So we have to endure, be resilient, and overcome many of the challenges. So I say that you want to educate and empower yourself, get the right support, strategize to get support, strategize to use the lawyer, and you can learn, heal, and outgrow the narcissist. You can come to my website to learn more, and I have free blogs. Be willing to learn the lesson in whatever it is you're going through. If you are finding yourself reacting and losing emotional energy to your traumas and triggers, which will be there, then find a buffer zone, find a program of healing and support, find those mentors, therapists, DV counselors, whatever it is you need to hold you up and hold you up emotionally. So get that emotional support, but learn the lesson and change what you can to better these situations. This is my newest book, Tame the Narcissist: 10 Keys for Better Co-Parenting to Create Peace and Protection Using Strategy and Skillful Means. This is what I teach now because of what I went through. Yes, I have cooperation with a narcissist. No, it wasn't always this way. I had to parallel parent for many, many years. I had to have 3 lawyers. I did lose in family court to the tactics of a narcissist. But I decided to stop being the narcissist target of blame, tame the reactions inside of me because I was overreacting to anything my child was struggling with. I did Codependence Anonymous to make sure I wasn't codependent with my child. I did Al-Anon, a program for recovery for friends and families of alcoholics to make sure I was detaching and practicing self-care. I had a therapist, a DV counselor, I had spiritual groups. I did everything I could to focus on my healing and tame the fear inside of me, and that helped me deal with the beast. And I teach many of my skills and tools and ways that I de-escalated, neutralized, and navigated around the narcissist, who is, very highly triggered, pathologically jealous, competitive, egoic, selfish, and fearful themselves. They're also easily triggered. So once you learn some of that, you don't keep poking the beast and making it worse. That's available on Amazon. If you want to read my story from front to back, You can start with my first book, which is Co-Parenting with a Narcissist: 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. I dedicate my work to moms who also lost in family court, or before family court was ever installed and they never had rights to their children. My second book is How to Fight a Narcissist and Family Court and Win: Super Smart Strategies for Success. My third is Co-Parenting with a Sociopath: Survival Insanity Guide. You're going to need your sanity through the insanity. And my fourth is How to Survive a Custody Battle When the Family Courts Force You to Co-Parent. I teach moms that narcissists generally win by emotionally destabilizing the target of blame. And if we've placed ourselves as the enemy to destroy the target of blame by trying to punish them or hold them accountable, or if our lawyer put us there, or if the courts have put us there, or wherever the failure to make this more friendly and civil, like pitting each party against each other in a family court process is so unhelpful, and the children do suffer, especially from the fear and stress that us moms are put through when we're in a family court battle and we are the disadvantaged, abused victim and co-parent. So they ask us to do things that are often impossible, like get orderly co-parenting communication with a a personality disordered person. So you're not alone if you're in the struggle. Know that the narcissist has tricks, tactics, traps, and plenty of manipulations. I teach moms to label it so it can lose some of its power. We can have strategies, skills, and self rules with ourselves. We can set those boundaries where we will go, what we won't say. We're not going to defend, justify, overshare to the narcissist. We're going to be the civil, kind, mature, reasonable parent, so that we wonder what a judge will think of what we say. We write as if a judge is going to read this out loud. That's very helpful when you think like a judge and you bounce everything off your lawyer. Um, the ability to change. We often have to be the change we want to see in these situations. I created goodwill. It took an entire year of telling the narcissist I've changed. I just want to get along. Um, we can endure this, survive, navigate, love ourselves, watch our children grow. So watch out for below. Look for that Navigate the Narcissist Basics course that I have. I do have a free blog. You can come here, use the drop down arrow to get the co-parenting with the narcissist, start generating some peace using some plans and some skillful means. I have a 20 wants list of PowerTool, help you build leverage. If you don't have leverage, if you don't know what your leverage is, start listing things that could be leverage. Just know you're not alone in this situation. Here's some of my castle and curtain techniques, because we need time and space to heal mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You can gray wall out. You can get that narcissist out of your mind, heart, area, life, house, so that you can actually heal from all the narcissistic abuse. I do a few support and strategy sessions, not many. I can get you started, give you resources. I'm not a lawyer, though. I can't give legal advice, but I do help moms strategize and prepare to use lawyers or do those free consultations. And I and welcome you to my free newsletter, Substack newsletter. Just know that everything we do, we're posting anonymously in this group, and we can't give direct advice. We don't allow for comments because moms in the initial startup were giving each other direct advice. And it's not a one size fits all. Everything depends on multiple circumstances, and you want a lawyer that has an actual strategy and knows your judge. So giving each other advice wasn't helpful, but I do run support groups, and so we can share in those spaces, share our survivor wisdom. But mostly, we want to learn here. Come here to learn something helpful that can better any bad situation that you are going through with your ex, so that these children have a loving, healed, sane, stable mom to come home to and a soft place to land. So look for that free Substack newsletter. There's also a podcast there. I have over 100 videos on my YouTube channel, and not many subscribers. So, welcome to subscribe and get those free messages. I have a video called Strategies for Dealing with a Narcissist. I also have a video on what drives the narcissist. So, you definitely want to do some self reflection work and see why there's such a battle with your ex if you are the target of blame, if you are poking the beast. We can only control our side, and we can often change things with the way we decide to be rather than reacting. We can choose to respond, and that takes skill and discernment and often support. So I do say in my first book, get a team of 10, find those support people, especially if you're going into family court. You don't want to try to do this alone and be a mom and work and everything. So look for some of my free videos on my YouTube channel. I have a Get the Right Lawyer guide, 20-question attorney interview worksheet. Read that whole guide, fill out that worksheet, print off 3, do a few consultations. Don't just take the first lawyer, and watch out for lawyers that tell you everything you want to hear. I have seen moms hire narcissist lawyers and then get burned. What I say, burned on both ends. So they've got a narcissistic ex and a narcissistic lawyer who could care less other than the billable hour, and they go broke over their lawyer, and the ex isn't paying child support, so they're getting burned on both ends. So watch out for that. Lawyers can be an asset and they can also be a liability. So make sure you're doing more than one consultation and you're thinking things all the way through. My 20 wants list, you can do that before you hire a lawyer. Start making a list of things you want. Focus on what you want. Why do I say this? Because a narcissist is always saying what they want more, they want to change, they want this, but we'd often just hope they go away or try to do something to appease them, and we don't have a list of wants. This can counteract all of the advances that they have towards us to either get more custody or get off child support or sole custody or whatever their strategy is or whatever their ego is driving them to do. We know it's not for the love and care of the children. The children often become hostages in these situations, and sometimes slaves to the narcissist's demands. So the less time, I believe, the less time a child spends with an abuser and the less traumatized they are, the better off they are. So I'm always looking to take more parenting time in my situation. I mean, all situations are different, but you might just want to think that through. And does your child have a therapist, somebody neutral that can help buffer the narcissist's um, tactics, antics, neglect, abuse? I do have a bonus guide that teaches you how to frame the wants, because you don't want to say, this is what I want. I want this, this, and this. A narcissist is pretty much going to say, no, I'm not going to give you what you want. And I'll dig my heels in to make sure you don't get it. So you want to frame it so that it's not coming from you. If you want to do this skillfully so that you don't become more of an enemy in the narcissist's mind, we want to sidestep all that and become more of a neutral person if you want to navigate around the narcissist and have more peace in your life and more cooperation and less of a pushback just to get some of your kids' basic needs met. So if you're struggling, if this is stressful and you want to make it better, I say take the time. Knowledge is power. Educate yourself and do the self work. Self work is some of the most important work we will ever do as moms. Our healing directly and indirectly affects our children. So we want it to affect our children in a good way. If you're on social media, just be very careful. You are posting anonymously and you're watching what you copy, screen share, and paste. I have private groups. I don't allow for comments. There's multiple reasons. We have a whole reason why. there's no anonymous commenting, and I don't have an enormous team who can read through everything to make sure people are not posting their custody case details. We don't allow pictures. If you go to the media section, you'll just find more helpful tips based on some of the issues that we see happening over and over in these cases. So be smart. Don't post your custody case details openly unless you're posting anonymously, and just assume that it'll be used against you. Yes, you can use some against the narcissist, but go look for that social media guide I have for free. And if you are posting and you need to post, it might be that you're lacking someone confidential and safe to vent to, who gets how hard this is, and gives you a place to just share and vent all the injustice, pain, and betrayal. So if you're dealing with a high conflict narcissist, or their drama, trauma, and chaos, which they like to kick up, find that team of support. Find this new video I have to position yourself successfully for negotiations. So many want to negotiate, but they're not even positioned in a strong way to negotiate. And often narcissists won't negotiate with somebody that they are like dead set on retaliating against, or beating, or seeking revenge on. So you want to position yourself for successful negotiations with your ex, which takes some strength and some planning and some strategy. So that's what I offer now, are those strategies that helped me, and they might be helpful for you. So pop on over to the new podcast on Spotify to listen to a lot of these YouTube videos on audio. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to learn, heal, and grow. Look for my new nonprofit coming in the new year, because we want to put child safety first, even if the narcissist doesn't, even if the family courts don't. Us caring, loving, protective, motivated moms want our children to be safe and secure, healthy, and well. And so we're putting that first. There's a lot of sacrificing that goes along with child protection that we can do as moms, that the courts and other people don't recognize. But we know that we're trying to get our children through a healthy, happy childhood. So keep being the great mom that you are, and welcome to this group. I hope that gives you a bit of an introduction to some of the work that I do and what I teach. And I hope to see you in the next video.